Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with Life with Chesses for Beyond the Gates, May 14th, 2025. Hold on, let me type in the comment section. Let me know down below, what did y'all think of the episode? What did y'all think of the episode? I'm typing in the comments, y'all. What did y'all think of the episode? But yeah, let me know down below what y'all thought. So we're gonna start with, first I'm supposed to tell y'all the highlight of the episode or what stood out. So to me, I'm wondering what's going to happen with Bill's health. First of all, hold on. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Bill's health, first of all, because we seen on today's episode, because I don't think we've seen anything happening lately. But on today's episode, he's still having trouble with his hands and stuff. And Haley came in and she asked him what was going on or whatever. And he passed it off. I don't think she really noticed his hand. But I'm thinking, if they actually do a plot twist where she's no good, then I would say she been doing something to him. I don't know. I don't know the way she popped up and everything. And I feel like she was standing there long enough to see something was going on with his hand. Then when he turned around, she had that little mirror. Obviously, don't them little mirror things let you see in there? Well, obviously a mirror gonna let you see. So why she didn't see him holding his hand or his arm? Maybe I'm reading too much into this. Maybe she innocent. Maybe nothing's gonna happen. Then it's her. She was saying something about a honeymoon. I don't know how we got on this. We'll come back to that, y'all. We supposed to be talking about Vernon and Anita. Okay, so we're gonna start with Vernon and Anita, y'all. So they was just talking. She was singing. She was trying to get him to sing. He still was trying to get her to reunite with her group. She was still saying how she feels like they won't forgive her or they won't want anything to do with her at all. But yeah, let me see. She eventually agrees. But at the end of the episode, did that lady hang up on her? Look, she looks so sad. I'm assuming that the lady hung up on her. She called somebody. I think I wrote it down. What's her name? She called Sharon, and it's a click. It's a click. But I think she hung up on her. But yeah, what else? I already said Anita end up agreeing to the reunion, and I wrote down. I wonder who they bringing in. I'm hoping. Didn't they say it was two other ladies? Was it two or three other ladies? I hope they bring in some legends, y'all. I hope they bring in some legends. But so far, the Sharon lady sounded like she hung up on her. I don't know how. Excuse me. I don't know if she gonna call the other lady or what, but I feel like eventually they're going to reach out to her. They wouldn't have brought it up if not. But we'll see. But like I said, I hope with their storyline, with them bringing the group back, I hope they bring in some legends who know how to sing. Oh, I hope so. Who we got next? Bill and Haley. Now we get to talk about them because I'm wondering. Let me know down below what y'all think of them as a couple. I seen some people rooting for them. I feel like she up to something. I don't know. Like I said before, hold on. Like I said before, when she came in, hold on, let me mark that out. When she came in, he was holding his arm or whatever. I don't know if he was trying to write or what. I think he was trying to write and he couldn't. It was affecting him and stuff. He still got the shakes, but he still had a problem with his hand. And he ends up hiding from Haley. She was asking who what was going on, stuff like that, and he hid it from. He didn't say anything. I think the only person that know is Danny, not Danny, Naomi. Naomi know, and then Tomas end up seeing something as well. Tomas ends up seeing something as well. So far the only people that know something going on with Bill Health is Naomi and Tomas. But yeah, he hid it from her, but at the same time, maybe she the one who doing something to him. You never know. You never know. Then, like I was saying at the beginning of the review, I was like, when she walked in, he was holding his arm, but he hurried up and hit it. Then after they did what they did in the office, he turned around and she had the little mirror thing. And I was like, usually in the mirror things, can't you see? Or whatever, but they didn't show it though. He turned around so she couldn't see it. I was like, she probably doing something to him. She probably poisoning him or something. Y'all know with soap operas. We'll see though. Maybe she innocent. Maybe she not doing anything. But usually in those situations where the man don't cheated on his wife and married the mistress and stuff like that, they be out for money or something like that. I know they keep talking about, excuse me, They keep talking about love this and love that. He said on today's episode how, he was married to Danny for a long time. It was good for a long time, but then it wasn't. And just saying how what he has with her is like no other or whatever. And I was like, he in for a rude awakening. He or she is. Either he in for a rude awakening or she is. But yeah, what else happened? I think she ends up talking. That's why I put a start by it. Let me see. I lost my place. She ends up talking to him about a honeymoon and stuff like that. He was like, since that dude gone, I forgot his name. Hey, how you doing? Since that dude gone, and they just said his name. What's dude's name? They got fired. The creep dude. And he knew who the dude was and how he acted to begin with. He over here acting like he shocked and stuff like that. But yeah, dog can't think of this dude name. They just said what his name was too. But yeah, he was saying how that guy was gone now, so he has to, step up and do more work and stuff like that. And she was like, well, since we can't go on the honeymoon, then I'll bring it to you. She pushed all his paperwork on the ground. That's when they started doing what they were doing. That's when they started doing what they was doing. Then when they went back to the scene, they were sitting on the floor and he was just laughing. She was laughing. And I was like, you don't care that she don't spill coffee or whatever that is all over your important paperwork. Now, I know it could always be reprinted and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like she up to something. I definitely feel like she's up to something, but we'll see. But who else we got? Let me see if it's anything about Haley then before we go on to the next people. I don't think nothing too much happened. I thought that June lady was dead. I hate to say it like that, but the way she just leaned over to the side, the way she leaned her head. Look, I'm always trying to demonstrate to y'all like the camera on. So the way she leaned her head and her eyes, I was like, why they bring this lady just to what's a good way to say it without saying the word? Just to take her off. I wonder if I said if they gonna flag me. But yeah. Who we talk about next? Andre, Nicole, Danny. So Nicole ends up asking if Andre kept quiet because he thought she was fragile. I think he was asking her, he was like, you look good or whatever. She was like, what, you thought I was gonna be curled up, on the couch or laying down and all this other stuff. He was like, no, that's not what I meant. And she was like, also, is that why you kept quiet? Because you thought I was so fragile and stuff like that? Danny came in to defend her man. She said, give a man a break. She said, give a man a break. And then she still went back down. Obviously, Nicole was going to pick up on something. Yeah, she defended her man or whatever. She was like, at first you said you understood and stuff like that, and it didn't have nothing to do with him, or whatever she said. And then she was like, yeah, I know. So she was like, she told her, she said, if I was your therapist, what would you say right now? Or something like that. And she ends up telling her, and she ends up forgiving Andre and telling him she loved him and stuff. Excuse me. She ends up telling him, they still family and she's sorry for that and stuff like that. And he was like, he cared about both of them. I think, did he tell her that or did he tell Danny? He was like, he loved both of them or whatever, and he knows she in a tough predicament or whatever. Hold on. But they was all, I don't know if they had sit down or what, but Andre ended up looking at Danny. Danny ended up looking at, yeah, they was sitting down. Andre ended up looking at Danny. Danny gave him a look, and that's when Nicole seen it. She looked at them both looking at each other, and I said, yeah, she know. I hope she didn't believe them. It's about time for this to come out. What I want though, I wanted Bill to walk in on them. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted. Excuse me. I don't know about y'all, but I wanted Bill to walk in on her with Andre. I wanted to see his reaction because I feel like he's still gonna have feelings for Danny. I don't know. I could be wrong. But yeah, I think Andre gave Nicole a hug and Danny whispered something to him. And then he left. And that's when she asked Danny what was going on between the two of them. And she was like, nothing. I'm not looking for, a relationship right now. You of all people. I said, now why would you go and say a thing like that? You of all people should know what that's like and stuff like that. I said, you ain't have to say all that, especially when you know your doggone where you learn. I said, you ain't have to say all that. And then she was like, yeah, hold on. And I think they end up drinking something or something like that. They sit down, but then they end up leaving. Next thing you know, we see her and Andre kissing and stuff like that. They end up sleeping together. They was laying in bed, and that's when he was talking about his love for both of them, for Ted and Nicole. And then what she said, what took you so long to come into my life? I said, yeah, she gonna fall for him. She's definitely gonna fall for him if she hasn't already. Martin and Smitty, he wasn't having no dreams today. He wasn't having no dreams today. I think, let me see if I wrote that down. He told Smitty he'll be back. He ends up going to, what's the name of that place? They keep saying it, but I ain't wrote it down yet. We're gonna say Barbara Jeans. It ain't Barbara Jeans, but something like that. But yeah, he went there, and was Eva there? I think Eva was talking to Cat when he arrived. I think, I don't know. Either way it go, that's where he went to their place. Eva and Cat end up talking. I said, now why would you expect, doggone well out of everybody, she was not about to forgive you, especially not right now. Now, eventually down the line, I feel like they gonna work things out, even if they turn out not to be sisters. Because a lot of people been saying they don't think that they're related and stuff. They don't think that they siblings. They don't think that's Ted's daughter. And y'all know with soaps, they'll introduce this, they'll show DNA tests and stuff like that. The next thing you know, they just pop up, be like, oh, we switched the test, or oh, we faked it, or oh, somebody knew down the line don't came in and they the one that switched the test. They be lying like it ain't nothing. But yeah. But she sat down with her. What did she say? She sat down with her and she was trying to talk to her. I think Kat said something about if you think we're gonna be friends or something like that. Dog, what type of way said it? Cause she said something about dicing that drink on her. She said it in a way where Eva was like, "We'll finally be sharing something." So was she telling her she was gonna dice it on her too, or what? But whatever way she said it, it was funny. It was funny how she said it. But yeah, Eva was saying how she wanted them. She said something about they still have sisters and she wanted them to be cool and they needed to work out their issues. And y'all know Kat. Y'all know doggone well Kat was not gonna go for that. She definitely wasn't. She asked, that's what she said. She asked if they're ever going to work through their issues. And she was like, no. She was like, everybody else may be able to, forgive her and this. Cause they is like Martin don't sit up here. Martin don't invited her. First he talked to Kat. He talked to Kat. Hold on, wait. I skipped the part. After Kat revealed she wasn't gonna have nothing to do with her, Eva got up. She was like, "At least I tried." And she's like, "One thing basically you can't change is the fact that we have sisters. Y'all know I hate that they sisters. That's it. They don't have nothing. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. They sisters for now." But yeah, she went over there and said. That's when Martin came in. He was like, he having a pizza night. He invited her. I think she was going at first until he sit up there and said that he wanted to invite Eva. She was like, no, she didn't want to do that or whatever. So she got mad. She ends up leaving, and that's when he told Eva about the pizza night stuff like that, and he ends up inviting her. So she ends up coming. Might as well go and get them out the way. Let me see. Hold on. Martin Smitty, Marty Cat, Eva Martin. Uh, yeah. Let's see. Martin Smitty, Eva, Terrell, Samantha, and Jessica. So Samantha took it upon herself to invite Jessica. Oh, that's who name was Jessica. I could have sworn Vanessa's name was Jessica at the beginning of this, but I must have been mistaken, obviously. But yeah, Samantha ends up inviting Jessica over for Terrell or whatever. They see Eva. Terrell, he didn't too much care. But Samantha definitely had a problem with it. She was saying little smart remarks. She was trying to get Eva to go. Eva was like, I could just go if it's a problem. But Martin ends up saying how, she gonna stay and they gonna get to know her because she his half sister and stuff like that. But Samantha felt some type of way because, what she did to her grandmama. When she first said grandmama, I was like, grandmama, who is her grandmama? I'm thinking Anita. I forgot Nicole was her grandmama. But yeah, excuse me. I forgot that Nicole was a grandmama. But yeah, she had a problem. She had a problem with her being there. Hold on. I think first when Jessica was introduced to Pops to Martin or whatever, she was saying something about she know his work or something like that. I don't know, y'all. He ends up having a big old speech, a little old speech or whatever, talking about he was gonna consider running for president. Terrell was happy about it. They was happy about it. But then he said he just want to focus on family and stuff like that. So he decided not to actually run or put it on pause anyways. Um I already said Samantha didn't want Eva there, but then they got to talking about her being a hairstylist. Then they had this whole scene where she was doing her hair and she was doing it real good. Now I don't know if they faking. Well, probably faking though. And I was thinking that when they was showing her and stuff, I was reminded of the comments. I keep seeing people say how the lady, somebody said they looked it up and the lady that's playing Samantha. She's not really 16 or 17 or whatever. She's in her 30s or whatever. And I said, well, I don't know. They gotta find somebody. That's not unheard of. They do that all the time. But yeah, it was a whole little debate on Facebook about whether or not the lady is in her 30s and they should recast her and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't look like I'm in my 30s. I look like I'm about 16. So on the opposite. On the opposite. So who else we got? Who else we got? Who else we got? Like I said, she ends up doing her hair and stuff like that, and she did a real good job. She did a real good job. Oh, they should incorporate. No, they probably ain't gonna do that. I was about to say incorporate. What was it called? This show back in the day on BET. It was a movie where they did hair and stuff. I can't remember what it was. It Beauty Salon? I don't know. I ain't seen it in so long. With Monique on there. Let me write that down because I want to watch it this weekend. Monique, I think it's Beauty Salon. I don't know if that's where I seen the little hair show off thing, hair show off thing, or what. But yeah, who else we got? Let's see. Eva Martin. Okay, Jacob, Naomi, June. I think that is they gonna be the last people. Nicole Cat. What was they talking about? I think she just came to show up to talk to her and stuff, check on her, and make sure everything was okay. Oh, I think she was talking about Eva or whatever. How do y'all feel about everybody? I ain't gonna say everybody, because so far Martin is being nice to her. It was somebody else, Ted. Ted and Martin, well, they is her family as of right now. Well, yeah, I understand. I seen somebody said that Eva is delusional to think that everybody's supposed to forgive her for what she's done, what she just did. I said, that's true. That's definitely true because she over here act like she didn't do what she did. But I understand she was being manipulated and stuff like that. So, and I did feel sorry for her when I watched this morning's episode, y'all. But the last people we got, if I'm not mistaken, is Jacob. I keep calling this man Jacoby. Jacob, Naomi, and June. So he ends up bringing her in, and I don't understand. What's gonna be her storyline? She left behind something in that chair, and Naomi picked it up. Was that a photo of somebody or something? Oh, was that a photo of who was that? Look, I was assuming that maybe she was one of the people in Nita group or something. Like I don't know who that was, or that's her family, and she connected to somebody in town or something like that. That would be a good plot twist if she was in Anita group or she was connected to somebody in town. But yeah, it looked like a photo, but Naomi picked it up. But yeah, they brought her back into that place. I still don't know the name of it. And they was just talking about her case, and she just kept coughing and coughing. I thought she was gonna cough up blood at first. But yeah, she kept coughing, and Jacob asked her, was she okay or whatever? And then Naomi had him feel her head, and she was burning up. Then next thing you know, she just tilted her head, like I was saying earlier. She tilted her head, and I was like, they done brought her to just to make her die. What the world? The way she leaned her head back over in her eyes, I was like, they be playing these parts, y'all. They definitely do. But they end up taking her to the hospital, but they ain't shown nothing yet. Hopefully, we get to see it on tomorrow's episode, though. Well, yeah, I'm wondering who she gonna be connected to. But yeah, I think that's everything, y'all. I was like animated. Let me see. What was that June left behind? I already asked y'all that. I said Andre and Danny back at it again. Eva, Rye, Samantha, Anita agrees to. Yeah, I think the last thing was Anita calling Sharon, one of the ladies in the group, and sounded like she hung up on her. But that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts. I gotta watch House of Pain at 8 o'clock and do a review. But let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces, her girls. Be safe, y'all.